Hello, hello, this is the tutorial for All We Like Sheep. This tune is in the sounding key of A, and obviously that's a workable key for guitar without too much difficulty, but I have chosen to play it in G with capo on the 2nd fret just to give me some options for moving bass lines and stuff, and that's the way I'm going to teach it, so hopefully that's okay with you, but anyway, that's what we're doing. So, let's run over the chords. You'll see me play G often like this, and frequently I'm muting the 5th string and using the 3rd finger for the 6th and the pinky for the 1st. But obviously you can play that any other way. You can play it with 3 fingers. You can even play it with 4. You'll see why I do that. It's just kind of expediency and it doesn't sound that much different. We have some chords here that I'm going to abbreviate, so even though you'll see the chart says one thing, I may do something different. So I'm not telling you that what I play is the name of that chord, but I know that it sounds good, and that's the way I'm kind of become operating because I'm used to playing with piano and bass and other instruments. Okay, so D2 over F sharp. That's the D2 right there with the middle finger up. And then I'll use my thumb coming around for the F sharp. You could also do this. No, like that. There we go. E minor. I'm going to avoid that B sus right on the very end of measure 3 for 1/8 note because it's just not that important. And then I'm going to go right to the B minor, which is a bar chord. The reason why I recommend playing it like that and not like something else is because the chord that comes after it, that even though it's a beat long, is a D over E, and it is very easy to play that variation from the B minor bar you just had. You bring your this finger, whatever it is, down and play 4 strings. So you go from the B minor to that. A minor 7. Now, C over D, you don't need all of this from the C chord because the D is your 4th string. So the D becomes your root. You play 4, 3, 2, and 1. C over D, real simple. And then you can go back and forth to D with that. You'll hear that kind of movement. I do that sometimes where it's written, sometimes where it's not. And then you know, you'll find that I'm doing that. I'm not really playing the C over G that is written there at the very end of the measure. On measure 6, I'm going straight to the G. So I'll do something like, okay. Now, what I consider to be a very James Taylor-esque turnaround happens with this F sharp minor 11 to B. Now, the F sharp minor 11, it's simple to play if you use 2, 3, and 4, 6th string, 4th string, 3rd string. You can allow the 5th string to ring. I tend to mute it. And then rather than playing a regular B, go to B7. So if you've ever heard when you're down and lonely, so he uses that an awful lot there. So F sharp minor 11 to B7 instead of B. E minor, B minor. We did this already. We did the D over E, A minor 7. A minor 7 over D. There's really no difference at this point. You could do that if you really wanted to. A minor 7 with so few notes in it at this point, with only 4 strings, is going to be effectively the same as a C, so don't worry about that. Oh Lord. So there's my G chord now on the refrain at 13. And then from there I can walk up. If you really want to play the G2, you have to change your fingering. Get that string in there, which I'm not really doing most of the time. C major 7 is like a C with the 1st finger off. Okay. Da, 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 da. If you want to do G major 7, rather than having these across from one another, you have to pull this one back to the 2nd fret. I may or may not do that. We'll just see what happens. Na, 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 na. There's our D over E again, and this lasts for a full measure, so you kind of have to get used to doing that. If you played the D, if you're finger style, you could take the thumb and hit that 6th string instead, if you can see that. But if you're using a pick, it's going to be easier for you to use the E with your finger across it. Okay? Forgive our sin and heal our land. Na, 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 na. And at this point, then we go on to the second verse, go back to the refrain again, and then the way we do it is we just throw a resolving chord of a G into the very end of it. So those are all the chords that you need. I'm going to go ahead and play through the thing. I'll probably, for now, just do verse 1 and then a refrain with the instrumental interlude, then verse 2, and then I'll do another refrain for you and then finish it that way. Sometimes we'll use extra choruses or whatever, but I'm not going to worry about that right now for this purpose. Alright, so here we go. From the beginning. 2, 3. All we like sheep have gone astray. Let's try that again. All we like sheep have gone astray, each of us turning our own separate way. We have all sinned and fallen short of your glory. But your glory is what we desire to see, and presence where we long to be. Oh Lord, show us your mercy and grace. Take us to your holy place. Forgive our sin and heal our land. We long to live in your presence once again. Instrumental interlude. Taking our sickness, taking our pain, Jesus the sacrificed lamb has been slain. He was despised, rejected by men, he took our sin. Draw us near to you, Father, through Jesus your Son. Let us worship before you, cleansed by your blood. Oh Lord, show us your mercy and grace. Take us to your holy place. Forgive our sin and heal our land. We long to live in your presence once again. Also, you can check out other YouTube recordings for the melody itself. If you were going to strum this instead of kind of pick it like I did, you certainly could. But you get the idea. All right?